and I wanted to fight, but I took the doctors and my dad's and my team's advice, and we pulled out the fight.
It's foolishness. How can you be so stupid? That's street mentality. This is world-class boxing. This is top-level boxing. If you want to bring that stuff to boxing, that's what happens. If you want to bring that mentality to our game, that is what happens.
Daniel's not feeling well, so I went up. That's the first time I discovered that the boxer was not well. And then lo and behold, the doctors were called. Two independent doctors came and read their findings to us. And
good, because that's only sparring. If you get dropped in sparring, it means you're learning. Tomorrow morning, you don't get dropped in the same shot. So him getting dropped in sparring, that means he's learning on the job, so it's okay.
Shocking scenes as Daniel Dubois speaks from hospital and admits his arm is barely moving properly after the sparring injury. He still insists he wants to fight, but doctors and his team have completely stopped him, raising serious doubts over his condition and the Fabio Wardley showdown.
But shit happens in life. But I'm back now, guys, and I can't wait to give you guys some fight news soon.
Johnny Nelson strongly criticizes the situation, calling the behavior careless and completely out of place at elite-level boxing. He stresses that this is not street fighting, but world-class competition where mistakes have real consequences. In context of the injury, it reflects how one wrong moment in sparring can instantly derail a fighter's entire career path.
The source is good. The source is good. And so when I'm hearing these things, I'm like, nah. And so it's popping out left, right, and center. The source is good. And so to me, I just shook my head. And when I'd heard all this going on,
Frank Warren highlights the strict medical checks involved after the injury, showing how seriously the situation is being treated behind the scenes. Every step now depends on doctors and medical clearance, not fighters or promoters. This confirms that Daniel Dubois' condition is being closely monitored, and nothing will move forward unless he is fully cleared to return safely.
Doctor examined him, gave him some medication, but the medication he gave him it obviously had to be checked that it didn't.
Don Charles explains how independent doctors confirmed the severity of the situation, forcing the camp into a very difficult decision. He stresses the emotional impact on Daniel Dubois, who loses a massive fight opportunity despite all his preparation. This shows the reality behind injuries, where medical safety overrides ambition and career momentum instantly.
And I'm always saying to fighters, I don't want to hear after the event anything goes wrong, oh, you had a bad hand or had a cold or, my budgie died. None of that matters. You've got to be, you live to fight another day. And
Johnny Fisher gives a harsh assessment, questioning Daniel Dubois' overall skill level and consistency as a fighter. He suggests that while Dubois has physical toughness, there are doubts about his technical ability at elite level. In the context of the injury, critics are now using this moment to further question whether Dubois can truly rise to top heavyweight standards.
Daniel Dubois, he just can't really get right. He has no real skill. Pretty durable chin. Art is kind of questionable. But
Eddie Hearn keeps his response measured, pointing out that this is a very difficult situation that the team must now deal with internally. There is no clear outcome yet, only uncertainty surrounding recovery and fight plans. This adds more tension around Daniel Dubois' future, as even major promoters cannot predict how this injury will affect upcoming bouts.
I will see what happens, but that's for them to overcome now, and it's a very difficult situation.
The weight concept raises serious concern about the nature of the injury, suggesting it could have long-term consequences for Daniel Dubois' career. The uncertainty around the diagnosis creates more speculation, especially with visible signs that something is seriously wrong. At this stage, questions are growing about whether he will return at full strength or face lasting damage.
Probably shouldn't be doing that, right? There he goes again. Now again, I'm no doctor, I don't know, but it does seem like that's a bit of an issue.
Eddie Hearn keeps his response measured, pointing out that this is a very difficult situation that the team must now deal with internally. There is no clear outcome yet, only uncertainty surrounding recovery and fight plans. This adds more tension around Daniel Dubois' future, as even major promoters cannot predict how this injury will affect upcoming bouts.
People direct and then make a decision if he's out.
Okay. When did you first learn about this, Frank?
Very late this afternoon,
Okay, so it's been a stressful day.
to say the least. for the fighters as well. It's a shame for the fighters, for everybody involved, TV companies, and more importantly for the fans. Riyadh season, you know, His Excellency, everybody involved with this. We're all gutted, but what can you do? That's
Liam Goff adds to the confusion by pointing out uncertainty around the exact injury, showing how unclear information is spreading around the situation. Even basic details like the type of injury are not confirmed, which increases speculation and concern. For Daniel Dubois, this lack of clarity only fuels more pressure, as fans and analysts try to piece together what really happened in sparring and how serious the damage truly is.
That Atema suffered some sort of ankle injury. Maybe I was just, seeing things with that one. But he is injured. It's not really specifying. I don't know why. I'm sure I saw it was ankle, but maybe not. Maybe I was just seeing.
The Wade concept breaks down Daniel Dubois' technical defensive style, highlighting his use of distance control and timing rather than reckless exchanges. It shows a fighter who relies on structured reactions and disciplined positioning inside the ring. However, in the context of injury concerns, analysts now question whether such a style can hold up under sustained pressure, especially if physical condition is not at 100% heading into major fights.
Frame with his lead hand, keep the distance, which he does such a good job of. If you move forward, he moves back. You cut an angle, he cuts an angle, right? He just mirrors what you do. And the moment you make a mistake or overcommit, he touches you with the lead hand. That's first line of defense.
Liam Goff adds to the confusion by pointing out uncertainty around the exact injury, showing how unclear information is spreading around the situation. Even basic details like the type of injury are not confirmed, which increases speculation and concern. For Daniel Dubois, this lack of clarity only fuels more pressure, as fans and analysts try to piece together what really happened in sparring and how serious the damage truly is.
His name because Fabio Waldy's a world champion now in his own right. And that 5% I'm just talked to you about, he's 5% better now than what he was before he won the title, because that's what it gives you when you win a world title. Now, he's just beaten Joseph Parker, right? And messed him up quite badly. It wasn't an easy fight. It ebbed and flowed for periods in that fight, but ultimately, Waldley got the job done. That's what he does. He gets the job done. Look at his career. Now, he would have improved, and a lot is to be said of Daniel Dubois, because he's got an excellent jab. That was the difference between him and AJ when they fought, was that jab. It was just beautiful. Waldley's got a good jab, and if Waldley's jab has improved since winning that title, then it's a battle.
The Wade concept breaks down Daniel Dubois' technical defensive style, highlighting his use of distance control and timing rather than reckless exchanges. It shows a fighter who relies on structured reactions and disciplined positioning inside the ring. However, in the context of injury concerns, analysts now question whether such a style can hold up under sustained pressure, especially if physical condition is not at 100% heading into major fights.
Courage, heart and determination, and his will to win. He's got world-class balls, and he's got a world-class heart. He's a fighting man, and he believes in himself, and he knows that all the time he's in the fight, he can win.
Liam Goff adds to the confusion by pointing out uncertainty around the exact injury, showing how unclear information is spreading around the situation. Even basic details like the type of injury are not confirmed, which increases speculation and concern. For Daniel Dubois, this lack of clarity only fuels more pressure, as fans and analysts try to piece together what really happened in sparring and how serious the damage truly is.
Have you guys ever sparred each other?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah? How long ago? What are we talking?
7 years, 8 years maybe.
Do you both remember that?
Mm-hmm.
How did that sparring go? Not that means anything come fight night. It's a long time ago. You're a different fighter. How did that go?
I went well, but in the early days, he got the better of me.
Yeah?
We'll say that. I got no problem with that whatsoever.
Do you remember those sparring?
Yeah, just like he said. He's come on since then now, so.
We've grown a lot since then for both parts. I'm nowhere near the fighter I was that many years ago. And in the fights he's had, he's grown and changed and adapted as well. Like, you have to. Like, if you want to stay at the high level of this game, that's what you have to do. But even in them, like you say, in those 7-8 years I've changed, but not just that, even in the last 2-3 fights I've changed. I've grown, developed, got better, adjusted, changed, weathered storms, figured it out. Like, I've gone through milestones and you can watch them from fight to fight to fight, the adjustments I make. So all I'm proving is that I'm constantly learning.
The Wade concept breaks down Daniel Dubois' technical defensive style, highlighting his use of distance control and timing rather than reckless exchanges. It shows a fighter who relies on structured reactions and disciplined positioning inside the ring. However, in the context of injury concerns, analysts now question whether such a style can hold up under sustained pressure, especially if physical condition is not at 100% heading into major fights.
He's a big fight, he's trained very hard. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. You imagine the cost involved in a training camp, you know, booking places to set the camp up, bringing the sparring partners in, the nutritionists, the chefs, trainers and everybody, and you don't get paid. It's a massive loss, you can't insure it. Or if you do, you know, it costs a fortune to insure. But very, very disappointing.
Liam Goff adds to the confusion by pointing out uncertainty around the exact injury, showing how unclear information is spreading around the situation. Even basic details like the type of injury are not confirmed, which increases speculation and concern. For Daniel Dubois, this lack of clarity only fuels more pressure, as fans and analysts try to piece together what really happened in sparring and how serious the damage truly is.
Jesus Christ, man. That's just sensational. Honestly, that is just brutality at its best. I have picked against Fabio 2 or 3 times. I will never pick against him again. That being said, I picked against Dubois a couple of times. I think it's 50-50, and this isn't fencing because I 51-49 Fabio. Fabio can crack, unlike any heavyweight, I think, right now in the division, but he takes a lot of punishment. Like, we've seen it, and I don't think you can take that type of punishment early from Dubois. But it's a tremendous fight. And look, if it does happen, credit to both. Credit to Dubois. To do Usyk, Miller, Hrgovic, AJ, Usyk, Wardley is better than any run minus Usyk in the heavyweight division. And, by the way, Parker was supposed to be squeezed in there as well.
The Wade concept breaks down Daniel Dubois' technical defensive style, highlighting his use of distance control and timing rather than reckless exchanges. It shows a fighter who relies on structured reactions and disciplined positioning inside the ring. However, in the context of injury concerns, analysts now question whether such a style can hold up under sustained pressure, especially if physical condition is not at 100% heading into major fights.
It's all about mindset. Dom recognises that. It's not about the physicalities with Daniel Dubois. Never has been. Yeah. You know, he's a big, strong guy, and like, if you get his mind right and he's that self-belief there, and that's what Dom will be working on with him.
It's not many that should beat him ever.
No.
Liam Goff adds to the confusion by pointing out uncertainty around the exact injury, showing how unclear information is spreading around the situation. Even basic details like the type of injury are not confirmed, which increases speculation and concern. For Daniel Dubois, this lack of clarity only fuels more pressure, as fans and analysts try to piece together what really happened in sparring and how serious the damage truly is.
You do wonder, when it comes on top for him, Daniel Dubois, what's up there and does he want it? That's the only real question mark I've got over his career. Obviously, losing to Usyk's no disgrace, but he's a massive puncher, big, hard hitter. And Fabio Wardley has never really been in there. You've got Justice Hooney, you've got Joseph Parker, you've got Fraser Clark. None of them are really bangers, are they? None of them can really punch hard for heavyweight. I'm sure if they hit you on the chin, it'd hurt. But somebody like me who's got a granite chin.
The Wade concept breaks down Daniel Dubois' technical defensive style, highlighting his use of distance control and timing rather than reckless exchanges. It shows a fighter who relies on structured reactions and disciplined positioning inside the ring. However, in the context of injury concerns, analysts now question whether such a style can hold up under sustained pressure, especially if physical condition is not at 100% heading into major fights.